Hello and welcome in this third video of globalization and Indian economy. In the last video we were discussing about the liberalization in India, in which we discussed about the meaning of the liberalization and the period when the liberalization was started in India. So in the last video we had discussed that the liberalization started in 1991 at the time of the finance minister, at the time when finance minister was Manmohan Singh. So during the time of 1991, our finance minister was Manmohan Singh, and it is his plan that the liberalization started in India. So the liberalization, the meaning we had discussed, that the meaning of the liberalization means absence of restraints. Our Indian economy became a part of the world economy, and India, after liberalization, allowed the multinational corporations to come and establish their factories and industries and to invest money in the share market. So it stopped the helping Indian producers. So India became a part of the world economy, as well as the Indian producers came in competition with the foreign multinational corporations. So I hope that this concept is clear for everyone. So let's move and discuss the meaning of the liberalization. So as we have discussed, liberalization means the removal of barriers and restrictions set by the government on foreign trade. So in a brief manner, in a shorter manner, this would also be the meaning of the liberalization. The liberalization means the absence of restraints. Restraints means limitations on trade. So the government used the trade barrier to increase or decrease or regulate the foreign trade to protect the domestic industries from foreign competition. So the government can increase the trade barrier, as well as the government can decrease the trade barrier. If the government want to attract the foreign companies, the foreign multinational corporations into their territory, the government can decrease the trade barrier. If the government decrease the trade barrier, that means it is allowing the multinational corporations to enter into its territory. Now, if the government is increasing the trade barrier, that means it is not allowing multinational corporations. Now, increase of the trade barrier will help the Indian producers, Indian businessmen to capture their own market. Recently, we are in 2020, because of the COVID-19, the NDA government of Narendra Modi has decided to put limitation on the entry of Chinese-made products. So if the government has put limitation on the entry of Chinese product, it is helping our Indian businessmen. Indian businessmen can sell their products into India. So that is how the government it may increase or decrease the trade barrier for different reasons. Now, example, the tax on import around 1991, the government of India adopted the policy of the liberalization. So I hope that this concept is clear for everyone. So let's move to the next topic. So this is the picture of Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was a finance minister at the time of 1991 when India adopted the policy of liberalization. So when India adopted the policy of liberalization, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the finance minister. Now let's talk about the World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization, because the main objective of the World Trade Organization is to regulate and set rules for maintaining trade between different countries of the world. The main aim of the World Trade Organization is to liberalize the international trade. The World Trade Organization was established on 1st January 1995. At present, 164 countries of the world are the members of the World Trade Organization. But it has helped the developed countries of the world, because if the poor countries liberalize their economy, and if the poor countries allow the multinational corporations to enter into their territory, they will import more because the developed countries have greater technology and better finished products. So the developed countries will be in the profit and the poor countries will be in the debt, will be in the loss. The poor countries will be in the loss and the developed countries will be in the profit. So WTO also favor the advanced countries, the European countries. World Trade Organization also favors the advanced and the European countries. So if we understand, I hope that the basic introduction of the WTO is clear for everyone. So if a question is asked, what is World Trade Organization? You can ask that, you can answer that World Trade Organization is an organization whose aim is to liberalize international trade. It was established on 1st January 1995. Now this is the picture of the World Trade Organization. It is located, the headquarters of WTO is located in Geneva, Switzerland. This is the picture of the World Trade Organization. 164 countries are the members of the World Trade Organization, but mainly the World Trade Organization favors the European and advanced countries of the world, because the advanced countries are more richer and they can export more material, more machinery to the poor countries. So the poor countries suffer loss. Now, impact of the globalization in India. Now, if we talk about the impact of the globalization, it has the mixed results. It has both the positive and the negative impacts on India, on Indian trade. So on the one side, globalization has benefited India. On the other side, globalization has also created loss for the Indian economy. Now we are going to discuss some of the positive impacts, some of the positive results of the globalization. Now, it has provided greater choices for the consumers who now enjoy improved quality at the lower prices on several products. Now, consumers have been benefited because of the globalization. Because of the globalization, we can get variety of brands, variety of products into our local market at the lower prices. We can compare. If we go to the market to purchase mobile phone, you can see different brands, the mobile phones of different brands from China to American brands. We can compare the prices and we can purchase the best mobile phone at the affordable cost. So the globalization has benefited the consumers, and the globalization has given the consumers the variety of options. So the globalization has also increased the standard of the living. The standard of living of the Indian people has been increased because of the globalization. Because of the globalization, we are connected with the IT technology. So the globalization has also provided new opportunities for the IT sector, information technology. Our country is ahead in the area of information technology and online business and the World Wide Web. Now every business have their own email and it is connected with the different countries of the world. India is also selling its products online. So the globalization, these are the positive impacts of the globalization. Indian company have even got the foreign collaboration. Indian company are also working and sharing its experiences with the multinational corporations. India is also working, Indian companies are also working in collaboration with the foreign companies. India is getting new technology and the market reach. So new technology we are getting from the foreign countries because of the globalization. So another one, globalization has also enabled Indian companies to establish their branches in different countries of the world, like Ranbaxy. Ranbaxy is a medicine company. The Tata Motors, the Tata Motors is also selling. It has also its branches in different South Asian countries. China, it has the Ranbaxy has its branch in China. So the Ranbaxy sells its medicines over China and the Tata Motors in Indonesia and Malaysia. So The globalization has benefited Indian industries to establish their branches in the foreign countries. So these are the positive impacts of the globalization. Now let's understand about the negative impacts of the globalization. Along with the positive impacts, the globalization has also created negative impacts on the Indian economy and trade. The globalization has mainly served the interest of the richest countries, which continue to dominate the world trade at the expense of the developing countries. The developing countries hardly export, the developing countries have hardly anything to export. What they will export? The poor countries and the developing countries lack technology, machinery, modern technology they lack, and the developing countries are dependent upon the European and the rich countries for new technology. So the rich countries have got more benefit than the developing countries and the poor countries like India. So this is the first negative impact of the globalization. Now let's talk about the another negative impact. It has created more problem for the small business. Now the small business cannot survive because the small business has to come in competition with the foreign brands, with the multinational corporations. The multinational corporations, because of their huge economic power, suppress the small business companies. The multinational corporations can sell their better products in cheaper prices, and the small businessmen cannot sell their product at the cheap prices. So these are the reasons why Chinese made products have flooded into Indian market. The Chinese made products are better finished, they are more beautiful, and the Chinese companies can sell their products at the cheap prices, and that is why our Indian products are lagging behind. Our Indian products are facing loss. I hope that these two negative factors are clear for everyone. Now, competition increase. Now this is the Indian made toy. If we talk about the toy, it is Indian made toy, and this is Chinese made toy. Which is much more better? The Chinese made toy is much cheaper, much beautiful, nicely finished, but the Indian made toy is costly. It is also not much more beautiful. So you can compare as a customer which product you will purchase. So this is the another negative impact of the globalization. So globalization has created the job mainly in the unorganized sector. Many people are there who are working on a shift basis in multinational corporations. Nowadays, the multinational corporations have started more exploitation and more injustice, because in some of the multinational corporations, the workers work on the shift and hourly basis, in which no work, no pay, no medical benefits are given to the workers, because in the multinational corporations, no holidays are given to the workers. The workers mainly work on the hourly basis, in which the money is paid on the hourly basis. Now here the workers are exploited more, because and these shifting works are the results of the globalization. So I hope that the negative impacts of the globalization are clear for everyone. So let's move to our next topic. Now let's talk about the fair globalization. So because of the globalization, the local businessmen, the local small companies face loss, and their existence becomes in danger. And that is why the modern economists suggest for the fair globalization. Under the fair globalization, it is emphasized that the government should give protection for the small and the local businessman, because the small and local businessmen need protection by the government to save themselves from the competition of the multinational corporations. The multinational corporations enter into the another country's territory and they remove the local businessman, and that is why the fair globalization will benefit all the people and the all sections of the society equally. So it is called the fair globalization. The fair globalization should ensure that the benefits of the globalization are shared by all the sections of the people. Even the multinational corporations and the local businessmen should exist side by side. So the government can support those producers who are very small and cannot compete with them, because the small businessman, protection of the small businessman is also the responsibility of the government. And that is why the government can increase the trade barrier to protect the local businessman. It can also decrease the trade barrier to attract the foreign investment into its own country. So more emphasis are nowadays given for the fair globalization. So the fair globalization ensures that the benefits of the globalization is shared by all the section of the people. So it is up to the government, it is the responsibility of the government who can play a major role in realization of the fair globalization. So I hope that the fair globalization is clear for everyone. So the fair globalization is an attempt to remove and minimize the negative impacts of the globalization on the local businessman, local and small businessman. So the government should provide safeguards for the protection of small and local businessmen in its country. So the same thing here which I have said recently, its policies, that means the government policies must protect the interest not only for the rich and powerful but also for all the people in the country. If necessary, the government can use the trade barriers, that means it can increase the trade barrier to protect the interest of the small businessmen and local companies. So I hope that these things are clear for everyone. The meaning of the fair globalization, what is the necessity of the fair globalization is a basic question in this chapter. So I hope that the things are clear for everyone, and everyone has been able to understand the chapter carefully. So thank you for being with us and watching the video. Thank you.